that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody knew him in amateurs.
One thing I can say, though, because, I've been seeing, we've been amateur together and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Teo can fight.
Tell him that. Teo can fight.
When a sparring leak revealed Keshin Davis knocking out Shakur Stevenson, the boxing community was taken aback. The video emphasized Davis's timing and talent, highlighting the rigor of elite training sessions. Having seen both amateur Stevenson and Lopez in action, Davis noted that Teofimo Lopez is a skilled fighter. According to his perspective, skill is seen on all sides, but strategy, speed, and preparation are still important in deciding who wins the ring in the end.
Against Shakur playing out, because you want me to tell you the truth, like, this fight could have been the winner's bracket fight. In other words, they're jumping to it, but at the end of the era, it may have been Teo and Shakur, especially if you would never fight Shakur, right? How do you see this fight playing out?
I see it playing out, let's say, I see it starting off slow.
Okay.
And then I see as Shakur wins the first round, as Shakur wins the second round, slowly, I think Teo is going to eventually start picking it up and start imposing his will.
Right.
And then, it's just going to go from there. That's how I think it's going to go.
That's a fair assessment.
That's a fair one.
Especially for
According to Keshin Davis, his sparring session with Shakur Stevenson was just competitive and not personal. He claims that when he entered the ring, Stevenson's counters hit with ease, but he was unable to land clean shots. He continued to move forward in spite of this, knowing that giving up may be costly. He gained respect for Stevenson's talent and learned the importance of perseverance and concentration from the heated argument.
Sparring day come, I'm confident. I'm knowing I'm about to go in here and beat him up, right? Man, I get in the ring, man. Why I cannot hit this man, right? I cannot hit him, but he touching me. So I was like, oh, this is different.
He different.
Like, he different. So I just keep, I'm 14, he's 16. I just keep going, I just keep going. So some getting through, some not, some getting through, some getting not. And I felt as if I was to step off the gas pedal, he was going to get me. So I just had to keep going, you feel me? And I know he explained that a lot of times in interviews, like, that's why he respect me so much, because in that sparring right there, I didn't respect him at all. I was just trying to F him up. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's what it was. And after the sparring, we respected each other. Like, it was a different type vibe after we sparred, honestly. Now it was like, oh, damn, bro. Like, damn. Like, we really started to get to know each other, you feel me? Because when he came to our gym, he was popular. Like, Shakur was the guy.
They knew him.
Everybody.
Throughout his fight camp, Shakur Stevenson has been training hard, with incredible dedication and focus. He approaches each exercise with discipline as he improves his technique, quickens his pace, and builds his stamina. Stevenson's dedication goes beyond just getting ready. To make sure he is mentally prepared, he researches opponents, evaluates tactics, and imagines various combat situations. His camp places a strong emphasis on accuracy, consistency, and growth in all facets of his game. By keeping this level of focus, Shakur hopes to go into the ring prepared, self-assured, and in top shape, ready to carry out his strategy and provide his best effort.
Discipline, time away from my family. How you gonna beat me? Ain't no way you can beat me that way, bro. Why I keep saying I'm the best. Niggas don't want this shit more than me. I know it. I know it. I want this shit so bad. So bad. Shit easy, yeah?
easy work.
Easy.
All work, easy work.
You already know.
All work, easy work.
It's supposed to be a sprint.
Let's go.
This ain't no sprint.
No, it's a job. Let's go. We ready.
Keshin Davis considers his enduring relationship with Shakur Stevenson. Keshin referred to Stevenson as a brother from the start, indicating that the two had a connection that extended beyond the ring. A competitive rivalry emerged despite their tight friendship, motivating both sportsmen to strive and challenge one another throughout their careers. As they strived to succeed and learn from one another, this combination of friendship and rivalry shaped their development. Keshin highlights that their competition was always based on respect for one another and a desire to compete at the top levels of boxing.
It's family, bro. Like, I'm never, ever fighting Shakur. You know what I'm saying? I'm not
it's not even gonna feel right.
What were some of the experiences like with you guys growing up like as young men and young teenagers in Virginia? Like what some of those things that shaped you to know like he's my brother, man. I could never do that.
Yeah, the moment when I was like, all right, yeah, Shakur, I genuinely actually got real love for you was when I was going through my deep depression times. Even before I was going into the mental home, I used to tell my brother a lot, but then I started like backing off from my little brother because he was my little brother. I started talking to Shakur a lot about like how I was feeling and how I was thinking and what I was doing to myself. And Shakur was just giving me advice that I really like take in and like, damn, okay, I got you and stuff like that. And then I end up going to the mental home and, you know, like he calling me in there, checking up on me and stuff like that. I get out of the mental home, he pulling up on me, making sure I'm straight, making sure I get back in the gym, make sure I continue to do what I love. So he was.
Shakur Stevenson discussed his impending battle with Teofimo Lopez openly on the Ariel Helwani program. Stevenson, a rising star in the ring who is renowned for his accuracy and cunning, responded to those who questioned his readiness or capacity to take on Lopez. He stated that Lopez has never faced an opponent of his caliber and conveyed his everlasting faith in his abilities. Stevenson stressed that this bout would be unlike anything Lopez has ever encountered, implying that his blend of quickness, cunning, and flexibility will put Lopez to the test in ways no opponent has ever been able to. Shakur emphasized that he is still focused on the task at hand, rather than the hype exhibiting a mindset focused on planning, carrying out, and striving for excellence. His comments demonstrated both confidence and a thorough comprehension of the tactical requirements necessary to defeat a fighter with Lopez's strength and stature. Stevenson went into further detail on the significance of adhering to his style. He stated that he does not plan to change just to live up to expectations or get into pointless fights. Rather, he intends to take a scientific approach to the fight, managing timing, distance, and pace to take advantage of any opportunities Lopez gives. Stevenson plans to control the match's course from the first bell by being composed and using his boxing acumen. This strategy emphasizes Stevenson's development as a fighter and his capacity to put strategy ahead of emotion, proving why he is regarded as one of boxing's most intelligent young prospects.
It's cool. I mean, that's their opinion. Like, you know, they could say that. But I know he never fought nobody on my level. Like, I'm 1,000,000% sure that Tio has never seen nobody as good as me in his life.
He's talking about, like, once he gets through you, then he wants Crawford, names like that. How do you think he would do against someone like Terrence at this point?
I think he gets knocked out.
Can't even hang with him.
Yeah, he's too little. Bud is too big for him.
Right. As far as skills, though, do you think he's on par with the likes of Terrence?
I'm not gonna say he's on a Terrence Crawford level of skills, but he's very skillful. He got a lot of things with him that puts him at a high level.
One thing that was interesting to me was it seemed like you were going to move on from Matchroom, but now Eddie Hearn is involved in this, and this is a Matchroom event, it seems like. I know it's a ring card too, but he's promoting it here in the United States. So what is the state of your relationship with Eddie and Matchroom at this point?
Eddie's my guy. I'm actually not signed to Matchroom, but he's my guy. I'm a big fan of Eddie Hearn, and nothing but respect to him, but I'm glad he's the promoter that's on this card. I'm glad to share the spotlight with his promotional company.
So if he's your guy, how come you're not signed to Matchroom?
I mean, it's just business. If it makes sense, then I will. You know, if it come down to it and that's what makes sense, then we'll do it. But right now, I don't think it makes sense.
Okay, so are you just more of like your own man at this point? Your own entity?
Yeah, I am.
Okay. Do you negotiate with the ring people, with Turkey? You just do that yourself?
No, me and my manager, Jay Prince.
Reputable boxing analyst and pundit Booz Ennis offered his evaluation of the Stevenson-Lopez bout. Teofimo Lopez received a stern warning from Andis, emphasizing that it would be a severe error to underestimate Shakur Stevenson. He emphasized that Stevenson's speed goes beyond mere physical agility. It serves as a potent weapon in his toolbox, enabling him to manage conversations, dodge blows, and create opportunities for precise encounters. Andis stressed that competitors who only use force without taking mobility and time into consideration are frequently at a disadvantage when facing Stevenson. Andis claims that Lopez needs to appreciate Stevenson's qualities since the young champion's combination of speed and intelligence is a special and risky challenge in the ring.
You're gonna pick them apart. And I gotta tell everybody that Wichita is real athletic too. Teofimo. So I mean, I don't think it's gonna be an easy fight. You know what I mean? People think, a lot of people say it's gonna be easy and all that. Nah, Teofimo can punch and he can box. And like I said, he's real athletic. So you know what I mean? That'll make it a little difficult right there. You know what I mean?
I see a lot of people going back and forth with it. Some people think Teo got the advantage because of the weight and that he's athletic and explosive. Some people say Shakur is the better boxer.
Yes.
Right? How you see that fight ending?
Well, they saying, they've got the weight and all that. I see Shakur boxing big guys, light heavyweights and all that stuff. Just like Boots, he box heavyweights and put heavyweights down. You know what I mean? I think that's the right move for him. You know what I mean? Get up, and I think he can really do good at that weight.
Decision or stoppage?
I'm looking at a decision, not a stoppage. But then all according how Teo come in. If Teo come at him, he's gonna run into some shots. It might be over. You know what I mean?
Now you always tell me it's the shot that you don't see coming.
That's it.
That power is speed.
Right.
So could it be a situation where people underestimate Shakur's punching power?
Yeah. I think Shakur can punch. You know what I mean? I think he can punch. It's just like I said, speed is power. Not them guys, muscle bound guys come in and they tell me, he can punch and all that. Like I just got finished saying, like you just got finished saying, matter of fact, the punch that you don't see knocks him out. And they always say, man, I didn't see that punch coming.
Veteran boxing journalist Dan Raphael offered his analysis of the bout by emphasizing the two fighters' remarkable careers and skill sets. Raphael underlined that the battle pits a vibrant, strong fighter in Lopez against a technically skilled boxer in Stevenson. He praised Stevenson's meticulous approach, ring acumen, and defensive expertise while acknowledging Lopez's explosive ability to turn a bout around with a single punch. According to Raphael, this combination makes the battle extremely interesting because each fighter has unique strengths that could determine the result in different situations.
Teofimo has been a bona fide world champion in 2 divisions. He was the champion at lightweight, had most of the belts, defeated Lomachenko. He did suffer the upset loss to Kambosos. There were some physical issues there that we didn't know about going into the fight, not to make excuses for him. But regardless, he came back and even though maybe he didn't shine and scintillate maybe in some of those fights after that, when it came time to step up and take on the champ, which was Josh Taylor, he shined in that fight. So when Teofimo is matched, in a big time opponent, he's delivered, and he's done it, a number of times. And, he looked really good against Taylor. And Shakur, by the way, similar thing. He's been flawless through his career. He may be not the most exciting at times, but Shakur Stevenson gets the job done. He has won titles from featherweight up to lightweight. When his back was against the wall, quote unquote, and everybody had big expectations, and he had a lot of pressure on him not to make it a boring fight and all that kind of business. What did he do in his last fight against William Zepeda? He stood in the pocket, and he fought the guy, and he won handily. He shut him out, basically. He won like 10 rounds to 2. I mean, he fought a unification fight against Oscar Valdez, a fighter that, even though he might have been favored, thought maybe Oscar could do some damage because he was a good puncher and had a great amateur background and a great chin and all those types of things. And he went out there and he routed him also. I mean, so, these are 2 of the best young elite fighters in boxing. And their fight has been talked about for a long time. They spent most of their careers together at Top Rank, which is a fight. If you ever ask Bob Arum, he'll tell you that was a fight that Top Rank, down the road had their eye on at some point when they were going to be, closer in weight to each other. Because obviously Teofimo had started off, a little bit heavier than Shakur, but they would eventually catch up to each other. They're both Olympians, by the way. Teofimo he's American, but he fought for his parents' country of Honduras in that same Olympic Games. It was Shakur Stevenson winning a silver medal for the United States. I mean, they have all kinds of accomplishment. I do think they have a healthy respect for each other. They know each other for all the years being at Top Rank events together. They fought on the same undercard twice when the main event was Terrence Crawford, who was obviously very close to Shakur, but Teofimo was on those shows also. So, and they're doing it in the right place. This is not a fight they're taking to a place that doesn't make sense. All respect to the big matches they do in Saudi Arabia, but this is the kind of fight that belonged in America, and it didn't belong in Las Vegas. It belongs in New York City at Madison Square Garden. Teofimo is from Brooklyn. Shakur is from Newark, New Jersey, which is a 5-minute train ride from Midtown Manhattan. I mean, it's got everything you want to see. The Garden hasn't had a lot of big fights in the main arena over the last few years. The last one they had was the third fight between Katie Taylor and Serrano. But before that, it'd been, a couple of years, I think, since they had a main arena fight. So
Tim Bradley, a renowned analyst and former world champion, looked at the fight from the perspective of its technical complexity and importance to the sport. Bradley emphasized how the bout illustrates how boxing is changing, with young, elite fighters competing to establish the hierarchy for the following generation. He noted that fighters like Stevenson are a part of a trend that emphasizes technique, adaptability, and strategic thinking in addition to traditional power, drawing comparisons to Devin Haney's ascent. Bradley claims that this bout gives Stevenson and Lopez a chance to establish their standing in the sport and demonstrate how the upcoming generation strikes a mix between physicality and technical superiority. Bradley underlined that fighters like Stevenson raise the bar for accuracy, quickness, and tactical awareness, pushing rivals to improve. Lopez, who is renowned for his athleticism and explosiveness, needs to adjust to Stevenson's methodical approach. Bradley proposed that young boxers watching this fight may pick up tips from both guys. Stevenson's approach to punishment and Lopez's capacity to exercise control and authority under duress. In the end, Bradley presented the bout as an important occasion for boxing as a whole as well as for the two competitors, demonstrating the sport's ongoing.
Yeah, I think Devin Haney setting the trend. Devin Haney setting the trend. Yeah. Yep, he's setting the trend. Now all these young guys starting to test themselves against each other now. That's what we want to see. That's what we want to see. We want to see who the best is, yo. And then the winner of this fight right here needs to fight Devin Haney. Why not? Why not? Keep it going. Keep it going. But anyways, look, this is a message, man. Anybody that's going to be working that hard, y'all better make sure y'all do y'all damn homework. I'm talking about any commentators, any host, anybody. Do your damn homework, man, for real. You know what I'm saying? Because this not going to be one of them fights where it's going to be rock'em, sock'em, both guys hitting each other and stuff like that. No, it's going to be small, little nuancey type of things that if you don't know what you watching, you can't tell us what the hell is going on. All the fans at home going to be like, what's going on? You know? That they don't have the knowledge that you supposed to have to give us some food for our damn thoughts. So do your damn homework on this, okay? Oh, that go for everybody that's gonna be calling this fight, because there's every offense that, or every type of any offense that's gonna be landed, it's gonna have to be earned or set up. Both these guys are intelligent, right? Teofimo Lopez, explosive as hell. He's smart as well. Shoot, you got to remember, this man was the first man to beat Lomachenko. Yeah, well before Haney. Yeah, So, look, check this out. And you already know Shakur Stevenson. You know what he bringing to the ring. Defense first. Yep, defense first. You ain't getting nothing. I'm going to get mine when I get mine and when I want to get mine, but you ain't getting nothing. So, look. Y'all might perceive this fight as being boring and this and that. This is going to be one hell of a technical battle that I can't.
Teofimo Lopez's performance against elite opponents was the subject of another point of view in the conversation. Analysts observe that Lopez's overall potential is determined by the caliber of his opponent and that he typically reaches his peak only when faced with great fighters. Lopez must perform at his best when facing Shakur Stevenson, which calls for accuracy, timing, and complete reflex use. This dynamic implies that in order to stay competitive, Lopez will need to rely on his strength, speed, and strategic knowledge, forcing both athletes to perform to the best of their ability. The analysis emphasized the need for discipline and patience to balance Lopez's innate aggression and offensive impulses. Careless exchanges or ill-timed attacks could be easily exploited against a boxer such as Stevenson. Lopez faces more difficulty because of Stevenson's ability to maintain space, comprehend Lopez's patterns, and foresee attacks.
Teofimo Lopez needs opponents like Shakur Stevenson because they are elite fighters. He needs that to bring out the very best in him. I just can't see how it's possible that whilst Teofimo, we've seen a ceiling with him in terms of he's been beaten by certain opponents, we know that he can lose in the ring. But I don't know if that's a genuine ceiling, because I think that his ceiling is actually one of the most changeable in boxing based on who's in front of him. And so actually, I think there's a very, very good chance we're going to see the best possible version of Teofimo Lopez in the ring against Shakur Stevenson. But we should talk about Shakur Stevenson before we get into the nuts and bolts of the fight, what it might look like, and why it is so risky for both men. Now, Shakur Stevenson is currently undefeated. He's 24-0 with 11 KOs. He turned pro back in 2017. He's the same age as Teofimo Lopez at 28 years old, both men in their athletic primes. He's 5'8", I mean, these are on paper heights, so potentially a little bit shorter. He could even be a bit taller than